Guys, welcome to the WAN show. That show once a week that's all like, WAN, WAN, where we complain about things.
Do do we? I think we sometimes don't complain about things.
We definitely.
When?
And then. All right.
Went nowhere.
That went nowhere in a hurry. I mean, we've been live for a minute, and we've already had two jokes fall completely flat. We are off to a rough start
That was
here.
awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to start so that you can do your long?
Yes,
thing? Okay.
because I will actually do it right.
Phone unlocking in the States is now actually legal, and they now have $12 wireless plans so that you can use selective social services.
Not social services.
Social
$12 wireless plans?
They're social things that are also services on your phone.
Social services has a pretty specific meaning. I'm going to call social services on you.
No.
Speaking of social services and abuse, he is getting abused by the Oculus DK2, which is getting like 0-day patches like multiple times a day. Like
Well,
pretty...
the different games and applications and stuff are all updating because the backend SDK for DK1 went up to 0.3, and then for DK2 support, they're like, you need 0.4, so a lot of things don't really work.
Yay. Also, it uses a screen from a Galaxy Note 3, which is kind of interesting. Next up, we've got, unsurprisingly, GTX 880 rumors are circulating, and... actually, surprisingly, GTX 990 rumors are circulating. So we'll go through all that rumor mill stuff because I legitimately know nothing about either of them.
Yay.
That's always fun.
Not yay. Work. Yay. How's your rap coming?
My rap is done.
Is it
actually.
good?
Have you heard it yet?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, you're going to like this. All right, sponsoring the show today, we have DollarShaveClub.com. Shave time, save money. Actually had someone complain about that pun on our last Dollar Shave Club spot. Believe it or not, I didn't make it up. So there you go. Also, oops, no, that's not the... Oh, this is terrible. This is bad news. Okay, well, whatever, there's music now. Squarespace! Squarespace is the fast, easy way to create a beautiful website that works on your computer, on your tablet. And I'm just gonna yell over this music right now because Squarespace is so good that it's, like, loud. We do legitimately like Squarespace a lot, though, to be completely clear. We use it both personally and for the business. It's good for a lot of different stuff. All right, so let's kick things off with Obama. Thanks, Obama. No, legitimately, thanks, Obama. This is very important. So this was originally posted by IJK Snow on the forum, who has 342 posts, has a picture of a girl wearing a lot of mascara. Like, that is a lot of mascara. Anyway, more importantly, right, in 2000, okay, I think that might actually be wrong. I believe the law was actually passed in 2012, but the point is that there was a law passed in the US that prohibited users from unlocking their phones. Users who unlocked their phones could face prison time or massive six-figure fines in penalties, which is insane. I mean, it's insane. Let's look at this from the carrier's perspective for a second, okay? So they sell you a contract, okay? So you're locked in. You're going to pay them however much per month, and you're going to use their service, and you're going to pay it, okay? Then they sell you a phone. Now, they can either sell you the phone by itself for full ticket price, or they can bundle it with a contract, and then they can sell you an inflated contract price with a reduced price phone, and you're subsidizing the phone with the contract. Now, either way, whether you bought the phone outright and signed a contract with them at a lower price, or whether you bought the phone partially and signed a contract to pay an inflated price, the phone belongs to you.
Yeah.
If you terminate the contract, you have to pay the remainder of the value of the phone that you own or that you owe. So why shouldn't you have the right to change carriers? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one is exclusive devices, where they work out deals with phone manufacturers like Verizon, for example, being the only one with the Droid DNA, and AT&T being the only one with the Asus Padphone X. But that's not a legal thing.
And who cares?
And that's not a legal problem. The government, the police
Should not be wasting resources on this.
shouldn't be involved in this crap. So
Makes no sense.
basically what's going on is it's effective today. It's no longer illegal to unlock a phone in the United States. You know what's funny is I actually ran into issues with this myself, even though I'm in Canada, because I would be seeded US version phones for reviews, and I would say, yo dog, I ain't got no AT&T up here, so I need this unlocked. And they'd be like,
No can do, really. Sorry.
I won't say who it was, but someone did it. But that's exactly it. How are they going to enforce that rubbish? Like, of course you can do it. So, okay, the good news is that an idiotic law that never should have existed has been done away with. But the bad news is that it actually doesn't mean anything. This does nothing to prevent...
I know a ton of people that were already unlocking their phones in the States because, like you just said, how are you supposed to enforce this anyways? So it's super dumb.
Ridiculous. And this doesn't do anything about phones that are just enforced by the manufacturer, or by, particularly the manufacturer, where the manufacturer is enforcing no unlocking, like the iPhone.
Because it's also not illegal for them to lock and protect the lock on their phone.
That's right. So it does absolutely nothing, and I wish that this was better news than it was. I've seen a lot of people really excited about this news, and as much as it's at least a step backward from the wrong direction, it's not a step in the right direction yet. There are countries where these kinds of lockdowns are illegal because
they should be.
Because it's a consumer protection issue. It's basically an anti-competitive behavior to go, not only am I going to get you to sign a contract that says you can't go with someone else during this time, and then we're going to subsidize a phone with that, even if you do want to break the contract and pay off the phone, that's a brick now. So whatever, dog. And the other thing too is, and aside from that, even if it was mandated that legally they had to unlock them, they're still allowed to charge you for it, and there's no limit. Although here in Canada, I think the average is around $50.
Yeah.
And
whereas you can get a code online for like $6.
yeah, so this should have. Well, I wanted to unlock my iPhone 4. And I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
And that funny thing about that one is that if I recall correctly, it didn't matter that the phone was completely paid off subsidy-wise. My contract that the phone was tied to wasn't up because that contract changed because I moved from NCIX owning my phone plan to me owning it, and it renewed for a new chunk.
Yeah.
So I ended up not being able to unlock it within the useful lifetime of that phone.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Just kind of ridiculous.
I gave my brother my old S3 so that he could work with it and try and fix it and give it to his girlfriend because his girlfriend had an ancient phone. Anyways, so he ended up figuring that out and wanted to unlock it. So I used my unlock code that I bought for it when we were in Taiwan again, and it re-unlocked the phone for free. I had already paid for it, but I had done this like 2 or 3 times already. And it still worked and cost me like $6 when I did it. So just in case you're wondering on how to do it, there's like 1,000,000,001 websites that can do it for you.
Speaking of...
But I've heard that the unlocking iPhones, you pretty much have to get it done through your carrier, and it's like super crazy expensive. Although there's some jailbreaking thing that you can do, but then...
I think it's like a lot of work and a pain in the ass or something
or something like that. And I think his girlfriend didn't want that done, or something. I don't remember.
Speaking of bogus unlocking codes, this was actually a pretty funny article I read this week. It's not in the document.
Oh, yeah.
So Sharon Parrish Jr. allegedly scammed Apple not once but 42 times. Basically, the trick is that you... Here we go, hold on. So it's an authorization code scam, and it's apparently amazingly simple. So you visit an Apple store, try to buy products with 4 different debit cards, which were all closed by the respective financial institutions. When his debit card was inevitably declined by the Apple store, he would protest and offer to call his bank, except he was just pretending to call someone. So the complaint says he would offer Apple Store employees a completely fake authorization code with a certain number of digits, which would normally be provided by credit card issuers to create a record of the credit or debit override. But the problem with this system is that as long as the number of digits is correct, the authorization code actually isn't meaningful in any way. It's just a record.
It's a log, yeah.
Yeah, so all they had was a record of him approving his own overrides. You gotta wonder, 42 times, like this is like 300 grand. At some point, do you just kind of go, this worked really well. Maybe I should go to perhaps a different store, like not the Apple store.
Yeah.
Maybe I should hit someone
Jewelry.
else. Change it up a little bit.
He even hit the same exact storefront
twice.
Yeah, like dude.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, hilarious thief footage is always funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what kind of people B&E? Well, usually winners, right? Where they just do this amazingly ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. My favorite is that. Sorry, I'm going to interject here. My favorite is the guy that's sprinting through the mall and then runs through the glass door and just like kaput. The glass shatters and he just slaps it, hits the ground, and doesn't move. And I was like, wow, you literally just knocked yourself out. Spectacularly. Good job.
Oh, all right. What else we got here? Oh, this is more good news on the wireless carrier front. Sprint is going to be selling, or is selling, whatever, a $12 wireless plan that connects to Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, or Facebook. Okay?
I think it's a bunch of ors. Like Twitter or Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook.
Okay, so basically, instead of buying a bucket of data, customers can pay less for just the app that they use the most. Other apps might be added in the future, and this new plan is only available at Walmart, and the base offering covers just 20 minutes of talk and 20 texts, but with unlimited access to one of the above social media platforms. Well, what I would like to see, I think they had something coming. Let me just have a look. I think there was something for a music streaming service as well.
Okay.
But the stupid thing about this is that T-Mobile is already allowing unlimited music streaming service that doesn't count against your data plan. So when you use a service like Spotify, for example. So, yeah. I just don't really understand.
If they enable Skype, I could see people using it because you can do text and voice calling through that. If you wanted a really basic phone. But then why would you need data?
So the plan starts at $7 a month with each service costing $5 or $15 for unlimited use of all 4.
Oh, there we go.
So even then, though, we're talking about a $22 plan when you could sign up with someone like Ting, for example, whose phones run on the Sprint network and really just have a complete pay-as-you-go solution. Like, you know how their billing works, right?
Yeah, the only thing is I always forget about Ting because we don't have them.
I know, we don't have them, but they are a sponsor of the show.
And they are awesome.
And they are legitimately
whenever
awesome.
I think about, like, planning out, because I still have to switch carriers or do something.
Yeah, you have to do something because I need that phone back at some point.
But like, oh my god, they all suck. I don't know what to do. They all suck.
I know.
Ting, come to Canada.
All right, speaking of things that don't suck,
Please.
or that do suck. Wait, here, this doesn't suck. So Crytek has secured a new source of capital to take care of itself in the longer term. So this was posted by Pokemon Trainer 4, and basically the whole history here, so the original article's from PC Gamer. Let's just fire this up. The whole history here is that rumors were circulating that they were out of money, and then they denied it. And then sort of somewhere in the mix here, employees stopped showing up for work and filed grievances about not being paid,
Not good.
allegedly.
Yeah.
And then Crytek came out and said, yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle. not allegedly, officially. And then now, basically, all they're saying about this is we've got the money. We're making it, we're in a transitionary stage right now. So we're moving from, a game developer to I don't know, to online publisher. Someone pasted some other sentence in the middle of the one I'm trying to read. To online publisher, they have the funding they need. No further details will be communicated. Radio silence. And the only article I could find that wasn't from exactly a week ago was from 5 days ago, saying they followed up and heard nothing. So I'm guessing that's the last we're going to hear of it. They're moving to be an online publisher. And there we go. So that's it. So Crytek's not going anywhere. I mean, this was mostly, I wasn't too worried about getting a sequel to Rise, Son of Rome. So this was mostly a worry because I was looking at all of the games that are going to be running CryEngine over the next little bit, kind of going, well, CryEngine's great. A lot of these games are great. And if they could keep using CryEngine, that would be great.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So it looks like that's happening. They're going to be fine. At least that's what they say. But it wouldn't be the first time they lied, I guess. So I don't know what to make of any of this.
I wonder if it's a ditch effort to keep more employees.
I don't know. But what's the point of keeping the employees if you can't afford to pay them anyway?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
but I do wonder about stuff like THQ, where they had to close down, but they had, 2 or 3 fairly major game launches right after they closed down. If they were able to hold out for 2 more months, they might have been totally fine.
Well, I mean, they tried. Remember, they did that crazy Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if they had communicated why they had to do the Humble Bundle.
If more people would have jumped behind it?
If more people would have jumped on it, or if people would have contributed more to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Humble Bundles, is that Square Humble Bundle still running? I think so. So there's a Square sale on our Square Enix, I guess. Sorry. Square Enix sale on Humble Bundle, and I was a little bit misled. Yeah, here it is. I was a little bit misled because... Oh, no, wait, there's a Humble Bundle? No, there's a sale as well. I think it's a different thing. Anyway, the point is, it's in the Humble store. The point is that I was misled. I was told that it had Final Fantasy VI in it, but it was actually Final Fantasy III, which is what 6 was called for the North American release. I think someone was confused. Anyway, they do have 7 and 8 for PC. I believe they also have 3 for PC. They got Tomb Raider in there, which I'm finally playing now. I'm actually really enjoying it so far. I'm playing it on my Shield.
It's good, yeah.
Same place I play all my games. Although I'm playing it through on the Shield tablet. I'm determined to play through an entire game on Shield tablet and see how it goes. Speaking of playing through an entire game on Shield tablet, remember those controllers that we got with the back buttons?
Yes.
I spent some time...
Which ones?
The ones with the mushy back buttons.
Mushy back buttons?
Yeah, the rear buttons that you couldn't reach.
Circular ones?
What?
The circular back buttons?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so those controllers. I was using the Xbox One with Tomb Raider on the PC for a little bit. It's not as bad as I thought. The mushiness actually helps you grip the controller without actuating them.
My problem was my hand was too big, so it was pressing
them
in here, and I'm like, I can't.
I'll spend some more time with them, and we'll talk about them more on the show later. Speaking of talking more on the show later, there may not be me on the show next week because my wife's due date for the new baby is actually 4 days from now. So I could get a call right now, and I'd be like, peace. And that would be that. So that's happening real soon. It's going to be an entire... Oh, let's do a straw poll. It's going to be an entire week of Luke Tech Tips, you guys.
Don't we have backlog of your stuff?
Maybe a little bit, but it'll otherwise be you, so...
Okay.
So we're going to have
Super
an entire
happy we
week.
just lost an entire video of mine. Cool.
Yeah.
Woo! That's good news.
Okay, how excited are you for Luke Tech Tips Week?
I believe on April Fool's it was called Slick Tech Tips.
Not very. A bit. Not at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and post this straw poll here, guys. Remember, do not click on straw polls that weren't posted by me or a mod in the forum. Or the Twitch chat, whatever it's called. Whatever. There you go, guys. Start adding your...
We should make the whole Twitch chat just a giant forum thread. Oh, I'm logged in as you, so there's a whole bunch of Linus Tech spamming. Because we were both doing it.
Nice.
Yay.
All right, so let's go ahead and throw those results up on the screen so you guys can watch them be tabulated as they come in. What's our next topic here?
Our next topic is...
Let's leave that one. That was boring. How about the BlackBerry one?
Okay.
Okay, so BlackBerry is evidently the only phone maker that can meet the German ministry's security standards.
So I guess they're the only phone maker that can protect you against the NSA a little bit?
I don't know. I think
That
that's...
seems like what Germany's security standards are kind of based on right now.
It does kind of seem that way. Ever since that... ever since... What did they do? They tapped into her phone? Yeah. It's like genius.
Way to make friends, guys.
Yeah, I know,
Way
right?
to make friends.
Okay, so do you want to do the run through here?
The ministry uses 3,000 encrypted BlackBerry devices outfitted with technology made by German security firm SecuSmart. I like how so many different security firms just put Secu and then something.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, good job being creative, guys. Hopefully you're creative with your technology.
I would call mine SecuAll. It's the most secure. All.
Wow.
Yeah.
Theirs is the smartest, though.
Smartest. But mine's the hottest.
Secu most smart.
Secu most smart.
Secu smarter.
Secu smarter.
I don't know. It makes sense. I don't know if this is going to be enough for BlackBerry, really. I think, again, they need to just really focus on software solutions. Because even if they could make like an offshoot of Android that had their technology built into it, I think people would be more accepted.
There's a lot of problems with developing forked versions of Android, though. Google doesn't like it.
That's true.
And they basically make life difficult for you or any OEM who builds devices for you. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah.
So in order for them to... And the other thing about Android is that no matter how much you lock Android down, no matter how much Samsung wants to talk about how secure Android is, it's not. It's by its nature very hackable. It's what we love about it.
I was more thinking like a dual boot style, though. You know the work and home system? Mm-hmm. Like, what if the work system was a completely different OS on the device? But then if you totally broke through Android, you could still get to the file manager and access that.
And you look at how pissed off Google was about running Windows and Android on the same notebook.
Yeah, that's true.
So is that going to be any different if you want to run BlackBerry OS and Android on the same phone? I don't think so.
Probably worse.
Probably worse. I would think so, yep.
Yeah.
So what else? Do we have any other information about them?
The handsets incorporate SecuSmart micro SD cards that act as a separate hard drive. Oh my goodness, this is what I was trying to talk about. For confidential information that can't be accessed by hackers. That is, don't say that. That was dumb. What are you doing?
Smart.
Secu not that smart. They're sold by the German company for 2,000 euros. Okay, so
nice.
if BlackBerry gets cuts, that's how BlackBerry comes back. Okay, makes sense. German publication Bild recently reported that the country's interior ministry was looking to buy 20,000. Yeah, if BlackBerry's getting a cut of that, that'll help a little bit. Not enough to like save their company, but hopefully enough that we can still have that Canadian company.
But at least this is some good news for them.
And then other people might be interested because they might hear about this.
I mean, if BlackBerry were to manage to become the de facto standard for government use again, how quickly would corporations follow
corporations
suit?
And anyone who's scared of the NSA.
And then once they gain that share back, how quickly do we start to see some app developers give two cares about it? I mean, mind you, you can load Android apps now anyway. But the point is, how quickly would it turn back into something that actually matters? I don't know.
Because honestly, I really liked the social thing on BlackBerry.
Yep.
And it was actually really usable. I think it would be interesting to try BlackBerry again now that the Google Play Store is just straight up inside of it. Because I think that would actually make things quite different. There's not a ton else on here.
No, that's about all there is to say. So let's go to our straw poll results, shall we? Dun, 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 dun. So, 48% of you said wet. 36% of you said very, with 9% of you saying a bit, 5% of you saying not at all, and 2% of you saying not very. So mostly people seem to be pretty down for the whole
pretty wet.
Luke's Tech Tips.
Should we talk about the game controller?
What's up? Oh yeah, we should definitely move on to the game controller. So this is a Kickstarter that, let me tell you guys, I was what? Why is this post gone on the forum?
What did someone do?
Okay, game controller. Here we go. Okay, so here's the article from Engadget. And you know what? You know what makes me really upset about that? Look how well search optimized we were on this post. And that post is gone. Anyway, so here's the article on Engadget, the game controller that trains your pelvic floor muscles. So the package will come with an iOS or Android game called Alice Incontinent, which is a joke because incontinent means you can't control your, bladder and stuff. So basically the idea is that by doing Kegel exercises, you will be able to improve the strength of pelvic muscles, which is great for pregnancy, and improving sensations in women. Last time I checked, the Kickstarter really wasn't doing very well.
It's not making it. It hasn't gotten better.
Is it not making it?
I think it's going to not make it by a fair amount.
That is a bummer. Oh, only 12 days to go.
They should have worked on their kicker exercises.
So they're, let me see where it is. Yeah. So Tatiana Kova? Okay, whatever. Guinness World Record holder of pelvic strength.
Kozhevnikova?
Says that, sure. So the point is that this will help you exercise and be better at that. I mean, it's a real thing. It's like a healthcare professional, thing to...
Oh, who did this?
Did someone... Oh... Apparently that thread was moved to spam, so some moderator on the forum is getting in trouble. I've seen a lot worse stuff than that make its way through. All right, so let's move on to our next topic, slightly more tech-related. Hopefully we haven't completely destroyed all of your guys' eyeballs over there.
I think that thing's fine, but whatever.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Me neither.
All right.
Who moved that?
Okay, let's move on to our next topic, though. All right, so NVIDIA has evidently found a way to quadruple display performance in low-res LCDs.
Kind of beast.
Which is pretty darn cool. So instead of using a single higher resolution panel, they're actually using two lower resolution panels directly over top of each other to achieve pretty much the same effect as a single higher resolution panel, which is like pretty bananas and actually kind of amazing. Is it quite as good? Well, no. No, the answer is definitely no, but it does make a significant difference. So their researchers disassembled two 1280 by 800 LCD panels and rebuilt them into a single display with slightly offset pixels, a filter to weed out polarization conflicts, and a bit of customized software to force the display components to work in tandem. They're calling the prototype a cascaded display, and in tests it has quadrupled the spatial resolution of the original panels, which is pretty darn cool. Now, to be clear, guys, resolution actually refers to what your eyes perceive, not a set of numbers. So resolution can double without, doubling the number of pixels or quadrupling them or whatever it is, as it were.
Brain explosion.
Brain explosion. Pretty cool.
I think it's cool because hopefully this will lead way to stuff that we're seeing from, like, segue to the Intel thing, the Intel Shark.
I mean, it's not perfect. The viewing angles aren't great, and the brightness is definitely reduced. It's not the first time I've ever actually used a display that has stacked panels. The last time I used one was an IZ3D 3D gaming display. It was a 1680 by 1050. I always forget that res. 1680 by 1050 3D display that had two different panels and then it had, instead of active shutter glasses, it had polarized filters, different ones on each eye, so that you could only see one of the panels with each eye. In theory, it didn't work very well, but
I'm just hoping this will lead to thinner things behind displays. That would be nice.
Very cool, though. I mean, pixel density is so high at this point, and it's not so expensive. I mean, okay, for things like Oculus, I can see it mattering. For things like a desktop display, though, I really don't think manufacturing two lower resolution panels is going to be something that makes any sense in the near future.
I doubt even Oculus.
You don't think so?
Not really. Because they need much higher raw resolution panels. And it's really close to your face, so you're going to notice any...
weirdness.
Yeah. So I think they just need, like, a super baller panel.
Speaking of Super Baller panels and Oculus, you want to take this one?
Sure.
Posted
so,
originally by Dietrich W. Sorry, I had to get that in. Go
No
ahead.
worries. iFixit ripped apart a
Get it?
very
Sorry, I
nicely.
had to get that in.
Oh.
Sorry. Go ahead.
iFixit ripped apart a DK2 delicately, not ripped it apart. They nicely took apart a DK2.
Sometimes they rip things apart.
Do they?
Sometimes.
Really? Oh god. Hey, if we get to see the insides, that's cool. I'm not going to tear mine apart. But they found, as you can see here, maybe not that one.
Yeah,
Can you
this
see
is the interface.
Yeah, but can you see the one where it actually shows, like, there we go.
Ah!
It is a... You sound like, what's the sponge thing? SpongeBob.
Oh, I actually have never watched SpongeBob.
I don't know if I've seen a whole episode, but I've seen his laugh. That reminded me of his laugh. Anyways, this is a panel from a Note 3 down to, as you can see, holes for the things on the Note 3. I believe it even has a hole for the home button. Yeah, directly taken from that. But that's cool. This is, again, a dev kit. So I believe it was said somewhere at some point in time that once the consumer version comes out, they will be having their own panels for everything. But as of right now, they're just like, easy. Yep.
Yeah.
Because we need you guys to be able to work on it, and this thing had an AMOLED panel and good resolutions and all that kind of stuff, so totally good.
Yeah, so 1080p display, and then they actually overclocked it a touch to run at a higher 75 hertz refresh rate. So something of note, guys, is as much as people might want to debate, can you see 30 FPS or 60 FPS or whatever else, from personal experience, even overclocking a panel a little bit past 60 hertz does make a big difference. Going from 120 to 144, frankly, I can't tell. But going from 60 to 72, which is as far as I got my old Samsung 305T, my old 30-inch monitor that my cat jumped on. I never actually got to use it like that because I wasn't using it at the time that we did that how to overclock your monitor thing. And then my cat broke it before I finished building my system. So I never actually got to game on it at 72 hertz, but that was as far as I got on it, and it made a significant difference. So,
well, he tested it. He just didn't get to. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It matters. My favorite thing is the low persistence, which you can notice a lot once I get you sitting down with both of them side by side. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to get into a certain game where you have to like whip your head to the side, and there's text and interface elements and stuff.
Right.
And with DK1, it'll look like complete mush, and then with DK2, it's very solid because a low persistence thing is turning off the panel between frames so that it isn't persisting on the screen for too long, but it does it so quickly that you don't notice.
Right.
That actually helps a lot. Really, really good. The high resolution and low persistence helps a ton. We'll have a video on that at some point in time. We're waiting because I got mine actually still relatively early before some devs are even getting theirs. So most of the big devs already have theirs, obviously. But it's taking a while for everyone to move SDKs to SDK 0.4, which is where you get support for the camera, and DK2's kind of like automatic detection mode instead of just screen extension mode. So we just, kind of have to wait for that to be fully implemented so we can actually try a whole bunch of different things. Because my idea for the video is to sit down pretty much everybody in the office and have them try gaming normally, game with DK1, game with DK2, and get their thoughts on the comparisons of the three. And that's not really going to work if we only have like a couple tech demos and maybe a few other things, because I want to get some very specific games running on it. So yeah, that video will be coming at some point when it's doable, and hopefully you're still here.
Yeah, let's hope. I mean, if I'm not here, I guess it's not really the end of the world, but yeah, you guys, I'm sure will do a good job of it without me.
Yay! Hopefully.
That's my way of saying a good job of it better be done. Because
I was just gonna say that's his way of saying don't screw up.
Because we're actually going to be doing our first set. Like I'm determined to make Linus Media Group as much like a real company as possible. So I'm doing performance reviews with everyone when I get back. I actually borrowed.
Do you get a performance review?
No.
Can we all performance review you?
Well, that's going to be half of each person's interview. Is like what we can do better as well.
I was going to say we should get the entire company on one side of the table and then you on the other.
So it's like the serfs versus management. Fine, but I get to have my wife on my side.
No! We will lose! That is not fair! That's not how this works. She has to be on our side.
No.
All right, what's next?
All right, speaking of being on a side, we are on the side of Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club is the sponsor that forced poor Taryn to shave his beard. We had some of you happy about the beard shaving. We had some of you extremely upset about the beard shaving. We should probably get a straw poll going. Straw poll.
I was frightened.
Were you happy or
frightened.
upset about Taryn's
I'm
beard
gonna have
shaving?
frightened as one of the options.
Anyway, so Dollar Shave Club, what's the point? If you guys aren't already familiar with them, is they, for less than the price of going to the store and buying razors with less of the hassle, deliver high-quality razors directly to your door. Your first order gets you a handle and a set of blades, and then your subsequent orders will include 4 of whatever blade type you want, up to their 6-blade executive model. That is pretty darn executive. I gotta say, 6 blades is like 6 more blades than no blades, which is better than not being able to shave your face at all.
I was just gonna say.
And they also have other stuff too. So they have Dr. Carver's shave butter,
You could probably shave your face with no blades.
which goes up.
You just might not have that much face left. 'Cause
Right.
You could like grind it
Fingernail shave. Anyway, Dr. Carver's shave butter, which goes on clear so you can see what you're doing. They have their new aftershave product, which actually Taryn tried. It smells quite nice. And then finally, speaking of things that smell nice, One Wipe Charlie's peppermint scented butt wipes for men. You know what's funny? This like sponsored bit was probably the one that I felt most awkward delivering at first, because I was like, really? I'm talking about
butt
wipes. But you know what? Having a clean butt is good. I mean, have you ever sat next to the person who kind of smells faintly of poo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they smelled a little bit like peppermint instead?
You know what I'm really happy
Right?
about is that I would
Yeah.
appreciate, you know, that like you're the real MVP thing. It's like the guy that stinks on the airplane but brings a One Wipe Charlie.
Yeah.
You're the real MVP.
You're the real
I don't want to
MVP.
sit next to you for like 2 hours if you smell like poo.
So anyway, guys, check it out. DollarShaveClub.com/Linus. They are a wonderful supporter of Linus Tech Tips. They sponsor Tech Quickie. They sponsor Linus Tech Tips. They sponsor the WAN show. And all you have to lose by subscribing to them is a few trips to the store. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to turn that around, because you're not really losing anything.
You can lose negative things.
That's not really the point,
Which
actually.
is good.
So
Negative, positive.
Negative, positives. Sure, okay. So, here we go. Squarespace is our next sponsor, and every month over the next little while, Squarespace is going to be giving you guys an opportunity to win your Squarespace site. So they have a free trial for 2 weeks. You can make your own beautiful website. Their whole shtick is they have over 20 pre-done templates that allow you to make a site that will work well on a computer, on a tablet, on a phone, on whatever else, and has all the functionality that you would otherwise have to find this plugin and Frankenstein, this little bit of code, and otherwise cobbled together into a functional website. Their whole thing is they've got all that stuff built in. So if you want to make a blog, you want to make a portfolio, you want to run a store even. I mean, I know that Lou from Unbox Therapy, his site runs on Squarespace now. He used to have his own thing. We're using it for LinusMediaGroup.com. We used to be on WordPress. I know Logan is using it for his store now, his EpicPants.com store.
Nice.
Yeah, like Squarespace is legit good, chosen for use by legit people, and you should definitely try it out. Squarespace.com/Linus for a free trial, and to get 10% off, use offer code Linus, and use hashtag Linus Squarespace. Okay, guys, hashtag Linus Squarespace. Tweet me your Squarespace site, and the next time we do a Squarespace sponsor spot, you could win your Squarespace site for a year. All the hosting covered. Everything covered, your subscriptions covered, all of their back-end tools like their logo creator, all completely covered. So guys, definitely do that.
Apparently mkbhd.com might also be Squarespace.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, coming soon.
Powered
Powered by
by
Squarespace.
Squarespace.
Look at that. It's like all the legit folks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bunching myself in with legit folks so that people will make the association.
You know, I guess you can do that. That's fair.
Oh yeah, and I should probably also mention this. Squarespace has redone their developer platform, so if you're a developer, you're definitely going to want to go and check that out.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
you should probably check it
I
out.
haven't looked at it at all yet.
Yeah, I know. This is brand new. So there's a whole bunch of new tools and stuff. So it gives you full control over the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that's kind
I
of...
don't think it had JavaScript support before. I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
And that's really nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's another thing, because I know you're working on a personal site with it, right?
I'm taking more time than I had originally planned, but I like my new idea.
Cool.
So, oh well.
All
And
right.
I've kind of dropped that with working on Squirtle version 2.
Right.
Have I told... Yeah, I've told you about some of my plans for that.
Yes. So
I'm
he's redoing his personal rig and his personal website. You should make your website about your personal rig.
Well, I'm
it should have,
waiting
like,
for...
It should have photographs, and you should like learn photography to take great photographs.
I was just going to get Brandon to do it.
So you should learn... You know, I think we all don't appreciate Brandon enough.
I do.
You know,
He's my bro on trips. We're Team B, man.
We're gonna bring. Hold on.
Maybe you don't appreciate
We're
Brandon
gonna bring
enough.
Brandon in here for a moment of appreciating Brandon.
Okay.
Hey, Brandon, can you come here for a sec? We have to appreciate you.
Why?
Okay. Here we have to bring Brandon on for a moment of appreciation. We just appreciate you very much. You film all the things, edit all the things. Yep. And
I love how he's like scared.
he even came and did like a maternity like photo shoot for me and my wife. 'Cause he's a good guy. Good guy, Brandon. You guys should follow him on Twitter. I can't remember your Twitter handle.
At @B_roll the intern. I
He
want to
still
change
hasn't
it.
changed
I want to change it. Now, the reason I haven't changed it is because when we ordered business cards,
Yeah.
that's what was on the business card. And I have, what is it, 500
500
business cards that have that Twitter handle on it. Been waiting to change it. I
So-
have the other one I want, though, so that's okay.
You got PAX coming up,
Yeah.
so you can give out a bunch there.
Yeah.
And then we've got CES coming up. You should give out the rest there.
Just hand them off to someone. Just take them all
You should
so I
leave
can order
stacks
more.
at people's booths. Just leave entire stacks.
No one will forget. And then I change my Twitter handle, and they can't find
Do
me.
you like the business card? Do the business card exchange, but give the guy 100. Here you go.
So it's actually worse to give out all the business cards before you change the Twitter handle.
Maybe.
Tell you what, why don't you change the Twitter handle? I'll buy you new business cards. We'll call it a
Okay,
day.
great.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Now he's back to editing all the things. I was gonna ask him to close the door because I don't ask him to do enough apparently. So you're just gonna monopolize Brandon's time and have him take pictures of your computer for you. All right. Well, we gave him some appreciation for it at least.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to feel bad.
But yeah, I started building my Squarespace site, and I was like, okay, a lot of these layouts are honestly optimized very well for having a lot of photos, which is
Yes, very
good.
visual.
And then I was like, I don't have any. Problem. I was like, when I build my new rig setup, I'll get photos of that.
You know what I didn't even mention, speaking of new rigs, our build guide that we did where Brandon stayed at the office with me until 3 in the morning filming. So that was I think taking out the meal breaks, I think it was like a 15 or 16 hour day or something like that. Like some ludicrous.
Winner.
Yeah. It was good though. We got the build guide done, which is what it's all about. All right. Well, that was fun. Let's move on to rumors, shall we? Okay. So first rumor is that the GeForce GTX 880 has been certified. There's a question
Have
mark
we-
at the end of the headline here.
Have we had an 880 rumor every week for the last month?
Oh, possibly. Yeah, that sounds about right. So
think
this
so.
is from videocards.com, and the word on the street is that the GTX 880 will be coming sometime in mid-September. They're apparently planning a big event for all major press members from around the world, and prepare for boring Maxwell architecture presentations. I wonder if videocards.com is getting an invite.
Yeah, what the hell?
Live streaming, new hardware, and Jensen explaining why you should buy G-Sync monitors and Shield tablets. I wouldn't be surprised if he explains that we should buy G-Sync monitors and Shield tablets, especially because Shield, at least the concept, I'm not that sold on the tablet personally. Not because it's a bad product, I'm just not a tablet user. Love Shield, and now that I'm using the ROG Swift as my daily driver, did I even tell you that?
No.
Yeah, I'm
I
using.
kind of expected you to.
I'm using the ROG Swift on
Every
my
single
machine.
time a new Asus monitor comes in, you just take it. Seriously, when was the last one you didn't? That's the answer I was looking for.
Hold on.
Wait, if I go back far enough.
Okay, at my house right now, I have the PB287Q,
Yep.
so I have the 4K.
Yep.
I have the PA279Q, so that's that beautiful 10-bit panel that's like pretty baller.
That you shouldn't have.
And then I have the ROG Swift.
Considering we have a Quadro here and Brandon could use a 10-bit panel for editing.
No, Brandon can't have a Quadro yet. He's gonna get a Quadro when we do the upgrade.
Is he then getting a 10-bit panel?
No, I'll keep it.
So next time a video doesn't look perfect and you know Brandon edited it, blame him.
You know what, though? We are going to do a bit of a monitor truffle shuffle because we have that BenQ CAD one, that 32-inch, that's actually using a pretty nice VA panel. So someone will get that. That's okay for pretty rudimentary color work. Actually, pretty decent color work. Then we've also got...
Like, are we making sure everyone has at least one?
we're
really good
going to
color
make
work
sure
panel?
everyone has at least one pretty accurate monitor.
Is everyone getting Quadros then?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Taryn is going to get a third monitor probably, though. He's asked for one. Just because his workflow would make it a lot easier for him if he had a script above. We're gonna be covering all of this, of course, in the whole room water cooling upgrade thing. Speaking of which,
What is this?
we had our first shipment of supplies arrive for it.
Hold up. I can move mine. You can dump
Here,
stuff.
do you want to hold this up?
Sure.
Here, just kind of hold it so they
How do
can. Here, it's okay to have it sort of tilted, but not all the way. Okay, here we go. Okay. So.
Oh. Yeah.
Here we go. You can go ahead and... I think they'll get the point. Yes, friends. A master carton of Titan Black Editions.
You know that graphics card that we never got one to do a review about?
I know, right?
Now we have a lot.
You know what's funny? I got the... Okay, this is great. Great story. I got an email from Acer today. Because did I already tell you that we're going to get a sample of their upcoming 4K G-Sync?
Yes.
Okay. So the thing about G-Sync is that it works down to... I believe it's 25 frames per second, 24, 35, something like that. If you dip too low, it stops working because you can't leave an image on the screen for too long. It starts to degrade and you have to refresh it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I don't remember exactly what that frame rate is, but Acer had some concerns about me reviewing their G-Sync monitor because if you don't have a graphics setup that cannot dip below that, you're going to see some tearing and you're going to see some visual anomalies that otherwise G-Sync completely eliminates. So they sent me this email. They're like, do you have a system that's powerful enough to drive this monitor in games? And I'm like, really? Really? Yeah, I think I do.
I think so. I think we'll be okay.
I think we'll be all right. So what we'll probably do is dual 780 Ti's
That's what I
and
expected.
go to town on it. Should be good. I may actually have to borrow a rig just to do my review of that monitor because I've got a single Titan in my machine. That might not be enough. You might need 2 monitors to drive modern games. At because you want to be in that, you don't really want to fall below 45 FPS.
Yeah.
Because when I was at the demo, it looks pretty darn smooth down to
you
about
have
45.
Your Titan's water cooled in, right?
It is,
You have
yeah.
quick disconnects on it?
No,
That's one thing I did for my update.
right.
My graphics card is be quick disconnected. With those Coolhands black ones, oh my god. Anyways,
Is
sorry.
that where those all went?
No,
Oh,
I got my own.
okay. Where are they all? Oh, they're on the bench.
Yeah,
That's right. Okay.
Anyways, they were like stupid expensive, but after building them into that bench, I was like, yep, need them. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, you could have just swapped those in your system, but you can just take a bench home.
Yeah, I'll probably just do that. What I might do, I should just swap a Titan Black. And then bring the Titan here. It's not that much slower. Someone can have a Titan. Brandon will never know the difference.
No,
Let's-
you just had an appreciation thing.
Let's take
He
advantage
should-
of Brandon
No,
more.
he should get a Titan Black. He should get a Titan Black. Taryn, Edsel, and Brandon all need to get at least one each.
Okay,
There's
fine.
Fine.
You can't take one of those from them.
All right, so we never actually managed to talk about any of the 880 rumors. So the rumor is it's going to be 4 gigs of RAM with a 256-bit interface. We should apparently also expect 8 gig models, according to some leaked pictures. The rumor is that it might not be the fastest card out there, but it won't hurt your wallet too badly. So we're not going to see a flagship card launch at, $799 or $1,000 like the Titan Black, speaking of hurting your wallet.
Crackling packages do not make that easy.
Yeah, I know, right? Is Twitch chat telling you to do bad things
Yes.
again? However, etc., etc., etc. So it's basically a GK104 replacement, according to the rumor on videocards.com. But based on, how efficient Maxwell is, based on how big we think the chip is going to be, it's pretty safe to assume it will sit above 780 and maybe even above 780 Ti in terms of performance. So this could be a pretty darn exclusive card.
Exclusive.
Pretty darn exciting card.
They're not making very many. You have to be a part of Team Green to get one.
I
An
thought that was
invite-only
AMD's
club.
thing. Team Red?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a real thing.
that's why I was.
Oh, were you making fun of Team Red? Oh, okay.
I wasn't making fun of Team Red. I was like,
The only thing about Team Red that kind of bothered me was AMD inviting me to join it.
the Twitter pictures.
No,
I
not
find those
that.
hilarious.
No, they invited me to join it, and I was just kind of sitting there. I was going like, look, we have a relationship, and it's good. But if I start joining
Except for
Team
when they
Red
don't send us anything to test.
or Team Green or Team Blue, like if I start joining a team, that's stupid. I'm
There's
supposed
no
to be
point
impartial.
in reviewing anymore. Yeah.
Right. I might as well just not. They might as well just not send me a card, and
Yeah.
I'll make a review about how great it is anyway if I join Team Red.
Yeah.
Like I can't do stuff like that. I gotta be looking at the product
Maybe
as the
that's
product.
what they were trying to do because they don't really send us things. So they're like, if he just joins the team,
Let's be fair to them. They send us most things.
most. on
There's
the
only
CPU side.
one. There's only one product they haven't sent us in the last year, and that was the 295 X2. So, and I believe they did intend to send one. I think it just didn't really happen. All right, so we expect rumors of an upcoming graphics card to start circulating, but what we don't normally expect is rumors of a graphics card that is not coming anytime soon to start leaking.
Yeah.
First of all, the OP for that last topic was Victoria's Secret, and the OP for this one is Big Earl. So thanks, Big Earl. But this is the rumor right now. Apparently, even though the GTX 880 is allegedly going to be coming out, and then this one says early or late October, so let's just say late Q3, early Q4. The rumor is that the GTX 990 will be launching in early 2015. So the original article here is from Tweaktown, so thanks to them for posting this. This is actually a relatively reputable site. Like, we're not talking WCCF
Except for their
tech.
audio playing ads.
Except for their... Oh, shoot, are we playing any? No, they don't have any audio ads
But
on
just
right
be
now.
careful, because it might randomly attack you, even if you don't refresh the page.
So they're saying we should
Jerks.
expect NVIDIA to completely skip the 20 nanometer process, going from 28 to 16 nanometers, which would mean that if this is a large style chip, there could be a lot more logic in it compared to what we've seen in the past. The rumor is that this will be under the Maxwell architecture, and that probably pretty much goes without saying. And then it won't stop there, as apparently we should see the GeForce 1000 series sometime in the next 18 to 24 months as well. Although I think that, as far as guesses go, is about like me saying the sun will probably set sometime in the next 5 hours, because new video cards come, like, eventually.
Yep.
And saying sometime in the next 18 to 24 months is about, like...
Even if they have to 9800 it.
Yeah, even if they... Oh.
Oh, I just made some people sad.
What if they GTS 250 it?
Oh,
Oh.
not good.
Not good.
Sad days.
All right, so what else we got here today? Intel is apparently going after Arduinos and Raspberry Pis in the most unorthodox possible way. So this guy right here is called Shark's Cove. It features a quad-core processor that runs at, I think it was like 1.3 gigahertz or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, it's an Atom chip. It's got a gig of RAM, 16 gigs of storage with a micro SD slot. You can output via a full-size HDMI port or an MIPI connector, and it's got a USB 2 port. The only issue here is that it clocks in at a whopping $300.
But it comes with a full Windows 8.1 license.
Yes, it does. So if you wanted to dev for Windows 8.1 on a very small device.
I don't actually think this is directly trying to attack Arduino or Raspberry Pi.
It can't be. The price
No.
point isn't right at all. I mean,
No.
Intel's not stupid. They
No.
would know that if they need something that's supposed to compete with that, it would have to be $20 or $30 or whatever else.
And like from talking with them at CES, a big thing that they kept on saying over and over again when I was looking at their little chipsets then, or not their little boards then, was that they're very dev focused. And in this one, they're talking again, it's supposed to be helping developers build apps for different sized systems and different solutions. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's entirely their focus again.
Speaking of entirely being focused on... Wait a minute, hold on. Did I miss the OP there? Nope, I didn't. Speaking of being entirely focused, YouPorn really has been... They were serious about it. They have focused on sponsoring a pro MOBA team. So apparently it is happening... And there you go. This was originally posted on the forum by Power Consumption Junkie. I love that avatar. GTX 480. Love it.
I never noticed that, actually. I've seen him around, but I never really correlated the two.
So apparently many people who responded to the original tweet where they were like, hey, any pro League of Legends or Dota 2 players? Yeah, we want to sponsor you. Apparently most people came to the same conclusion that we did, and that's that if they were to sponsor a team, they would likely have to fund them under a different name because... You're not going to have on, like, you know, the main feed for the international that's like, let's say this team makes the finals and they're being broadcast on ESPN.
They could have just done
Like-
they could have called them YP and used their little logo thing, the pink Y and black.
Even then,
P thing.
I think it's a pink Y and a black P. Never thought of that. So anyway, the point is that they wouldn't be able to have YouPorn logos all over the backs of the shirts of the players or whatever else. So hopefully we see some kind of you know, tastefulness in the way that they do the sponsorship. And I think
They
it's
can have giant pink Ys on the front.
okay. Enough of
and-
this. Just.
You know, on the other side.
You know what? We try to maintain a certain level of professionalism on this show.
My mom might be watching. I'm sorry, Mom. Okay, continue.
Apparently the contract is drafted, so there's that. This is also cool. Original poster on the Linus Tech Tips forum was Dietrich W. LG is
Jump
showing
stop it.
off, speaking of size mattering, their 105-inch 5K TV. Yes, 4K is not enough for LG. They want a 21:9 5K TV, so it runs at a whopping 5120 by 2160. We're not even talking the usual, hey, it's a new TV standard, there's no content for it. We're talking a whole new level of, I don't even know of a camera that shoots this. You'd have to shoot at like Red's 6K or something and then crop it.
And then, yeah.
What?
What are you doing?
With that said, I do think that moving to 21:9, especially for very large format TVs, makes a ton of sense. I just don't think that chopping off the top of content or having black bars, if I'm going to spend $120,000 on a TV, is going to make sense. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say $120,000 because Samsung's competing model is $120,000. LG's comes in at a mere $117,000. Well, hey. If you were spending $100,000+ on a TV,
I probably wouldn't care about that little extra.
or the other way of looking at it is maybe you spent all of your money and you don't have another $3,000 to spare.
Don't do that on a TV, man.
I would so buy a Tesla Model S instead. But that's a poor people way of thinking. What you would buy instead,
But
right?
then you just said you spent all your money. So you...
Oh no, I'm past that. Yeah,
Oh.
that was just a stupid thing I said to get a rise out of you.
But
So
that's not stupid. I would way rather buy a Model S.
no, I know, no. But the point there is that when people like us, real people, discuss like really expensive stuff, and we're like, that's stupid. It's stupid to buy that because here are all the things I would buy instead. This stuff's not for us. This is for people who already have all that stuff. So we're thinking about it wrong. We're clearly the ones doing it wrong. That's all I have to say about that. But yes, I would buy
what's up
Model
with
S
this?
instead. Oh, hold on, you're pointing. They can't see. Well,
They
you can't
still
point at that
see.
screen either.
I can use the mouse.
I'll use
No, I
wrong mouse.
can't.
Wrong mouse.
That mouse.
Here, just put your hand there.
Okay, this big bar, which I'm assuming must be some form of speaker.
Gotta
or
be a
sound bar.
speaker. Yeah,
Why?
because idiots.
You're spending $120,000 on your TV. Why? Why is that there? What the hell? What are you doing?
Is this part at the bottom here
I
see-through?
think it's a cutout.
I
yeah.
think it's a cutout. It's like,
what are you doing?
wow, yeah, that's the wall.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Super dumb.
Maybe it's
Not
not a
super fun.
speaker. I don't even. Well, it must be because the speaker sure isn't here. So
But like, why do you even have speakers in it? If you're spending 120 grand on a TV, please say you have some sort of sound system.
yeah.
You should not be using those speakers. That's
But
so dumb.
remember, the kind of house you might have if you have $120,000 for a TV is probably very like minimalistic and beautiful. You don't want to go cluttering that shit up with like wires. So you should probably use the speakers in your TV. I mean, it's a $120,000 TV, so probably the speakers are badass.
You could have the wires going through the wall. Can't even fully complete the sentence. Oh my god.
No.
You could get that crazy controller thing that I saw on, what was it, Monoprice? You could have wall switches for all your speakers.
No, because that would probably ruin your wall. Your wall's probably very beautiful.
So it would have to be like touch detecting lasers in the roof so that you can tap on the wall and there's no screen there.
Yeah. But like the wall would have to be glass so that you wouldn't like get your oil on it and like ruin it.
Yeah.
My rich people house would be awesome. I actually planned out what my rich people house would be.
Yeah.
So if I just had like millions of dollars and had no idea what to do with it, I would build a house that's completely below ground. Because I don't know about other places, but here in Vancouver, the average lot size has significantly decreased over the last 25 years. So my idea was that the entire house would actually use like an Egyptian mirror system style thing to pull light in from a certain sort of number of places, but then the actual entire top of the property could be like a grass field thing. So people would be driving by and it'd be like empty lot. Except there would actually be a house there. So you would access it by opening up like a storm cellar style thing.
Well,
no.
you have $1 million house.
Yeah, $1 million house. So like you'd like
Well, okay, $1 million house, Vancouver, not that expensive. You have a multi.
you have millions of dollars. Yeah. So you'd be like beep beep boop on your like smartwatch, and then like an elevator would
Hello,
come out of the
Linus.
ground.
Here is your personal
Yeah,
movement system.
then you get it. So the point of this house would be that I spent all this money on the house. I'm going to save that money in cooling expenses. I wouldn't need air conditioning because I'd be so far down below the ground.
You're still on about the air conditioning. Oh my god. To avoid getting air conditioning, he would A, build a multi-million-dollar house underground so he wouldn't have to get air conditioning, or B, water cool every single computer in the office in one loop so that he can pull air out of the room, pull that heat out of the room, but still not buy air conditioning.
And I could still enjoy like all that money I'm spending by further investing in things like the best home theater system ever. Because you could crank that up as loud as you want, and if you were 3 stories down,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. Because you could have it be completely dark.
If you put subwoofers like in the walls, you could make everyone think that there's mini earthquakes whenever you watch action movies.
That would be amazing.
That'd be so epic.
This is great. I saw someone on Twitch chat saying if Linus had $1 million, he would buy Streets by 50 Star Wars headphones to review them. Yeah, I already did that. I shot that review today.
God.
That review is going to be...
When is it going up?
Not for a while, because we have to film the music video on Tuesday, and then it has to be edited, which is gonna, I'm assuming, take like at least a full day for someone. So yeah,
It's
that
gonna be
review,
awesome.
that review is a thing. It's gonna be amazing, or terrible,
I'm pretty stoked for that.
or terribly amazing.
Or
All right,
Yeah.
so we've actually don't have a ton of topics this week. It's
No.
kind of the summer. And rather than end the show early, we decided we wanted to do kind of an interactive thing with you guys and talk about what you think in terms of raw going for raw FPS versus where is this? Where did it go? What is this?
was it removed?
I don't know. I can't find it right now. The discussion topic. Oh, I see it. Okay. Well, okay, no, first let's do okay, this isn't something that's a news item. I just thought this was a really great post by Exia. So basically AMD released their FreeSync FAQ. So FreeSync is the G-Sync competitor sort of from AMD, where instead of them developing like a chip that goes in the monitor that allows the display to only refresh when the video card sends it a signal telling it to refresh, instead this is part of the upcoming VESA standard for DisplayPort 1.3. So AMD's naming of it as FreeSync, because it's going to be part of a VESA standard, is kind of a shot at NVIDIA, as well as just a way of sort of making it clear that this is something that's part of an existing standard, sort of. So basically they've released an FAQ about it, and the main points here are that DisplayPort Active Sync, which is what it'll actually end up being called, not Project FreeSync, enables the real-time adjustment of the monitor refresh rate, so that's good. They're saying Project FreeSync is a unique AMD hardware software solution that utilizes DisplayPort Active Sync protocols to enable user-facing benefits. So that's smooth, tearing-free, and low-latency gameplay and video. So what's interesting about that is there's actually no guarantee that FreeSync is going to be supported across all graphics cards. Intel hasn't commented on it at all, and NVIDIA certainly hasn't commented on it. So we may actually be looking at a completely new set of NVIDIA certified, AMD certified, rather than a completely open standard that's supposed to come, crashing onto the market and make it so that everyone can enjoy what is truly an amazing technology, which I find a little bit disappointing, but I'm not ready to condemn it yet, because if it does turns out to be absolutely freaking fantastic, then that's great. But the problem is that it requires specific hardware. So you could actually see DisplayPort monitors that do not support FreeSync, and they could still be DisplayPort 1.3. So that's another thing that is something for people who are waiting, who are holding out for FreeSync. That's something that they might want to consider, aside from how long they will likely be waiting. This was actually a post pulled from ASUS. Someone from ASUS posted this. Let me just find it. Here we go. So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so someone posted on, I think it must have been on their forum, any monitor that can get to the G-Sync upgrade already has VBlank enabled, which means it's FreeSync compatible, right? And basically, Marshall R. shut this down and said, no, it's not the same. It needs to be enabled in firmware, drivers, ICs, etc. And it's not ASUS official, it's just a little bit of background information on how product development works. Having an industry standard is only a first step. It doesn't make it happen. VESA's on board, so it's probably going to be fine, but it likely won't be fast. And another great point that gets brought up here is that it doesn't take into account that the LCD and display guys are already really focused on other crap right now. 4K, 21:9, touchscreen, curved displays, these are all things that they're focused on that are not just catering to gamers and are important for everyone, not just gamers. So adaptive refresh needs an ASIC display IC physical redesign. It's not just a firmware update. That means silicon tape out, manufacturing, testing, firmware, everything. Typically that's 12 months from now to get it in their hands, and then another 6 months or more of product dev to actually make a retail display, and that's if all the display IC manufacturers decide to update for 1.2a instead of just waiting for 1.3. So, sorry, 1.2a, I believe, is the one that was going to include it. I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't looked at it recently. Anyway, the point is that in the short term, until further notice, ASUS is committed to G-Sync and the PG278Q, because it's the only technology that's actually on the market. In the midterm, they're going to be standards agnostic. I mean, ASUS is notorious for just doing everything.
Yeah.
Like, you look at XFX going from being GeForce exclusive to Radeon exclusive, or like EVGA being GeForce exclusive, or whatever. ASUS has always just given the old, yeah, you want us to only make Intel boards? You want us to only make AMD boards? You want us to make whatever? We're going to make whatever we want. So, and sometimes that turns into products that make no sense.
You porn.
But a lot of the time, it, wow.
We should get them as Linus Tech Tips sponsor.
No, we shouldn't.
Should I ask this poll topic?
No. Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. I was like, why not?
I thought it was should we get YouPorn as a sponsor? No, we shouldn't.
Oh man.
All right, so anyway, I thought that was just an interesting read through just because not a lot of details have been given by AMD up till now. I think it's great that they're demystifying this for everyone, but unless you've been paying close attention, they've released information very, very slowly, starting with that exclusive CES thing from Anand where they showed it. They showed a tech demo working on a laptop, all the way up to now today, where we see that the standard has been accepted by VESA, and then we're going to continue to move forward from there. But the point is just we're a long way away. So this was where I actually wanted to get you guys Twitter blitzing, and this was an interesting topic. I'm not sure that I agree with it. I just thought it was interesting. I'm going to post this in the Twitch chat. I want you guys to check it out. There we go. Is AMD falling behind NVIDIA? Because you could look at a lot of the stuff that AMD is doing right now and make arguments for the other way. I thought the R9 295X2 was a really great product, and it was a real nod to the people that it's actually supposedly targeted for. Like, I am tired of companies coming out and saying, we've got an enthusiast-grade product, and then not actually giving enthusiasts the features that they want and that they deserve. Like, a water-cooled card isn't too much to expect an enthusiast to deal with. And I think that treating enthusiasts like babies is not the right approach either. So, I mean, was the product perfect? No. It was, kicks out a lot of heat. And of course you have to have a case that has an open 120 millimeter mount for the radiator and all of that stuff, but that's okay. That's what made it enthusiast ready. But I thought that this post was pretty interesting, and I want to hear from you guys. We're going to start with a straw poll, but I also want you to Twitter blitz us as well. And here, let me get that straw poll up. Can you post that in the chat just for me to click on?
Yeah.
Thank you. It seems like the quickest way to share a link. Oh,
Yeah.
For crying out loud, I clicked the wrong one.
If you scroll up, it'll pause the...
I can get it though.
There you go.
Okay, we've got it. So let's put the FreeSync versus G-Sync thing on here. But I want to get more from you guys, actually. I want to know, do you value what NVIDIA's doing in terms of things like Game Stream, in terms of things like Shadow Play, although AMD does have a better competitor for Shadow Play,
Yeah.
as well as what they're doing in terms of things like G-Sync, where they're basically saying, okay, look, the standard needs to exist. Maybe in the long term, G-Sync doesn't end up being that important. But if we could bring it to market 2 years earlier than the competitor, would that be worth it? And just kind of going for it? Or do you prefer to see them just focus on making graphics cards? So I'd like to hear from you guys about that. So here's the G-Sync versus FreeSync thing. So we've got 57% of you saying G-Sync, and I'd actually feel free to Twitter blitz about this as well. I'd like to hear why G-Sync or why FreeSync. I mean, reasons that I can think of off the top of my head are G-Sync's here right now. Reasons I can think of against G-Sync are NVIDIA has, to my knowledge, no intention of opening it up to anyone else, whether it's Intel or AMD. Although I think Intel would be more likely as like a licensing deal. But
Yeah. What do you think in terms of, like, what are the actual market percentages for NVIDIA versus AMD right now on graphics cards? Like, what's Steam's things?
Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the hardware survey. But last time I was in retail, I know that in terms of sales numbers,
Okay.
it was about 60-40 to 70-30, depending on the day of the week for NVIDIA.
Okay, yeah. That's what I kind of found fairly interesting, is this isn't quite 60-40.
So are we just getting whatever graphics card people have in their systems?
Well, Well, okay. The one way you can look at it is, in a lot of cases, whatever graphics card people have in their systems are what they're going to be voting for in this type of a poll.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So it's not necessarily even a fanboying thing. It's just whatever they're standing behind in any form.
All right, so here's the
But
latest.
what I'm trying to say is that FreeSync is getting more credit than I actually expected it to.
Right.
In this poll.
So the latest Steam hardware survey, which I think is a great way of polling gamers particularly, like ignoring the casuals, is 50% NVIDIA, 30% AMD, and about 20% Intel. So
if
that
you
sounds
looked at
about
this,
like what I said.
if you tried to pull this directly across, G-Sync should have gotten a lot more votes.
Yes.
So it seems like generally more people are getting actually behind FreeSync. It's an interesting takeaway from the poll.
Just as an open standard.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of.
I mean,
guess.
it's something open
open-ish,
if NVIDIA chooses not to support it, because...
But they choose not to.
Do they choose? I wonder. Because is it choosing if you have to specifically enable it on a hardware level on the graphics card? Or is that just not having... I don't know. We'll have to see how this shakes down. It's going to be 2 years before we have a clear idea of how these two compete in the market.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, locking into my next graphics card upgrade, I have to confess, makes me pretty uncomfortable.
Me too. It's a big deal.
You know, like buying a monitor for $800, right? And then knowing, because a monitor is something I expect to keep for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Whenever I make that investment.
So you're buying that really expensive, really nice monitor on the notion that you have to buy the right graphics card
That's
for the
right.
next while.
I have to hope
That they don't screw up.
And have, another GTX, 480 generation where it's just not that competitive and it runs really hot. Or not even 480. I don't think 480 was even the problem. Let me just try to think. Right. Back when AMD had already refreshed and NVIDIA still only had 285s to compete.
Right.
There was a big gap there where NVIDIA just had nothing to compete with.
Is that why they skipped 300 series?
I'm not sure. I actually don't know the story behind that.
I still don't get that. It drives me crazy. Every single time I try to explain like graphics cards to people, they'll be like, "You missed one." I'm like, "No, I didn't.
No.
I don't understand either, but no, I didn't."
All right, let's go ahead and have a look at some of these tweets.
All right.
If Twitter ever
If we
loads.
yeah, that was
All
a lot
right.
of tweets, man.
Twitter, yay! Alexander Hoke says, "I hate the NVIDIA only thing, although I understand it. The argument that they want to improve the experience, they argue that they want to improve the experience of all gamers, but do the opposite.
They also want all gamers to be using NVIDIA products.
And whether I buy it or not, part of their whole spiel when they originally unveiled G-Sync was that they were legitimately trying to improve the experience of all gamers by pushing this technology onto the market.
And that kind of worked.
And it kind of worked. AMD announced FreeSync 3 months later. VESA ratified it a few months after that. Like, for better or for worse, the ball wasn't rolling, to our knowledge, until NVIDIA rolled the ball. So...
Whoa.
Just Melee already says...
Posted today, Crytek UK shuts down, Deep Silver takes over Homefront The Revolution.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry to hijack. Someone just tweeted this to me.
Wow.
This must have been...
So I guess they're downsizing, if nothing else.
Yeah.
PC Authority, Crytek UK shuts down. Interesting. So guys, here's the news for that. I'm surprised I didn't spot this earlier, because it was 20 hours ago.
20 hours?
No, it has 0 comments, though. That's
what
weird.
I mean, yeah.
That's weird. Here,
Where does
look.
it say it was 20 hours ago?
Maybe it was written 20 hours ago. Look.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah, maybe they wrote it, but they were waiting to publish.
Maybe.
So there you go. Crytek shuffles staff as Homefront once again causes developer casualties in recent weeks. Blah, 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 unpaid wages, etc. Has announced it has acquired
Is that
the
because
Homefront
it's
first-person
causing
shooter
casualties
franchise.
on the Homefront?
Wow. Deep Silver has already agreed to co-publish the game, but now owns the IP and will keep all the work that Crytek already performed. Wow. Okay. On to Twitter blitzing. All right. Cole says, yeah, I feel like AMD is falling behind too much. I feel like NVIDIA may have the edge, except Titan Z was a big failure. Titan Z is a weird product to me. It really felt like just kind of because we can. Like I don't really.
They
I
were
don't
expected to do so, though.
Yeah, I know. I think
because you wanted us to.
I mean, the thing is if you actually look at the pricing scheme for it,
150%.
150%. It's about the same as R9 295X2. It's just that R9 290Xs are cheaper than Titans. But then you could make the argument that GTX 780 is just as good as a Titan from a gaming standpoint, so it's just not priced for gamers. And I get that. I wish NVIDIA's messaging was a little bit more clear sometimes. Like, it was the same with Shield Tablet, where the first thing they said to us when we got in the room was, this is a tablet first. We wanted it to be a really great tablet for gamers. And then all the demos were gaming demos, except for the stylus demo.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you guys have your heads so far into the gaming scene, which is good. I mean, I get that. It's just that sometimes, especially in your marketing communication, you forget that a product was designed for more than just gamers, like the tablet. And it's really interesting. That review has like 2,000 comments on it of people discussing Shield Tablet. And people anywhere from, I think it's stupid, Shield Portable 2 should have been released with Tegra K1, all the way to people being like, yeah, I actually don't really give any cares about Game Stream, but this looks like a great tablet. I plan to buy one. K1 is fast.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go for it, which was really interesting to me.
It's a very wide-ranging market. It's not like a GPU where a lot of people, like a very large amount of people are just like, yeah, it needs to go quickly. Like, it's actually, there's a huge amount of use cases for it.
Eric apparently feels like AMD's falling behind, with NVIDIA having the backing to create this new stuff. Bomb Mask, I think AMD has dropped the ball on driver support. You know what's funny is, over the last couple of years, so since Linus Media Group formed, I'm tired of NVIDIA has crap drivers, AMD has crap drivers. You know what? They both have problems. I can get just as mad about AMD not supporting custom resolutions as I can about, what's the stupid thing on NVIDIA's side? They support custom resolutions, but when we were trying to get that thing working...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
They didn't support... Shoot, I don't remember anymore. It's in our video about super sample anti-aliasing, where basically we couldn't get something working because NVIDIA didn't support one basic feature and AMD didn't support some other basic feature. They both have issues, and we've seen them both swing back and forth in terms of stability within games, stability in SLI and Crossfire, and all that stuff.
For some reason, on my personal rig, using GeForce Experience, I can't download drivers.
Right.
It'll download like most of the way and then just be like no connection to whatever server thing. I'm just like, okay, thanks.
And then there was that issue that I had on the mini PCs when I was trying to benchmark, where installing the proprietary vendor-specific driver off of the manufacturer of the box's website would install GeForce Experience, which would then download a newer generic driver that just wouldn't work on the machine. Like, there's just... Neither of them is perfect. Let's not pretend that they are. That's all I have to say. I prefer G-Sync because it's available and it's proven to work. I prefer FreeSync because I much prefer open to closed. How will you deal with freezing temps in Canada in your whole room one loop project? Great question. We're in Vancouver, so it typically doesn't fall below around -5 here. G-Sync is cool,
would be, like,
but
really
it's just
cool.
unfair to not let AMD use it, especially because of the prices. It's not unfair. Totally not unfair. You develop a technology, you leverage that technology, you don't give it to your competitor. I mean, if we created a completely new way of making videos, are we going to just, like, bring every other YouTuber in and give them a tutorial? Actually, although the YouTube scene's a little different. I think we share a lot.
We actually probably would.
We probably would.
But, yeah.
Xaver says, smooth gaming now. G-Sync is great. I'm getting an ROG Swift. Want it now. I would go with FreeSync because it's the same thing except a less expensive option. That is a theory. We have no idea how much a FreeSync monitor is going to cost. By that time, who knows? G-Sync may be extremely inexpensive because of how mature it is. Because of how long it's been in production. Whereas whenever a new product or a new technology drops,
It's expensive.
I mean, look at 4K.
Yeah.
How expensive is it for the first year? What fraction of that price can you expect to pay for it the next year? So while FreeSync is still, hot and new and exciting, and there's that pent-up demand from AMD users who have wanted some kind of a solution but don't want to go NVIDIA, I think it's going to be expensive at the beginning. G-Sync is here now, and AMD hasn't been specific on performance, even beta benchmarks. You can't benchmark this. That's not really the way it works. Basically, it just does what it does. It's not a benchmarkable thing. When the graphics card is finished rendering a frame, it outputs it to the monitor, which refreshes only when there's a new frame. That's the way it works. Tim says, open standards over exclusive. Zhao says, we need new technology. FreeSync is good because it's here right now. Okay. G-Sync is already here and almost available. FreeSync has quality loss. That's actually something I wasn't aware of with FreeSync, so I would have to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
G-Sync is better because I use it right now and it's amazing. All right, fair enough, Quantum. It really is kind of amazing.
I have no extensive use with it.
I should lend you the Swift.
I wonder why.
Well, the other monitor got taken apart by the
Right,
NCIX
yeah.
Tech Tips team, and they haven't put it back together for me yet. And I told them I'm not putting it back together, so they need to put it back together for me, and they just keep dragging ass on it. All right. Ruckdoc says, I'd rather see a video card company focus on video cards. I can do video recoding and streaming with other things better. Interesting point, but what you... actually, if we give Valve a little bit more time to build, an Android version of Steam, we could see in-home streaming show up on Android without NVIDIA Game Stream. So maybe Ruckdoc has a point. If we're willing to wait a little bit longer, maybe we don't need any of that stuff. I already have a G-Sync monitor, so I couldn't really vote any other way. Amintha says, no, I don't think AMD is falling behind. NVIDIA and AMD are focusing on different things, and that will both be important to improve the industry. I mean, something that we didn't mention at all is Mantle. Mantle is coming for a lot of games, more than I would have expected back when they first announced it. Let me just see if I can find the list of upcoming games.
I find when most people guess, the guess is far too low, which is a good thing, actually, because then they'll be coming out with more. So hopefully there's actually something you're interested in.
Yeah, here we go. So this is from videocards.com. So we've got games that are here now. So that's Battlefield 4, Thief, Sniper Elite 3, not yet available with Mantle, as well as Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. We've got games that are unreleased but have confirmed Mantle support. Star Citizen,
Really big
Civilization,
games in
Mirror's
here.
Edge, Battlefield Hardline, Sims 4. Like, big deal games.
Even if you don't like The Sims is huge.
Yeah, just it's important.
Yeah,
Deal
it
with
is.
it.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say. And then there's unreleased with Mantle support pending, and there's a bunch of other really interesting stuff in there. Sleeping Dogs, Grand Theft Auto 5, like all this crazy stuff. I guess for me, the thing that I need to see is I need to see how Mantle actually ends up stacking up against DirectX 12.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, people thinking that Mantle spurred on Microsoft to bring DirectX 12 to market. Guys, that's not what happened. DirectX 12 has been in the works for quite some time already. It's not like Microsoft said, this is what we kind of thought at the time, because we just knee-jerk reactioned it. It's not like Microsoft hadn't been listening at all.
It made sense with the evidence that we had at the time.
Yes, with the release schedule of information that we had at the time, it kind of made sense. But no, they've been working on DirectX 12 for a long time. It is a lower level API, and it is going to bring some real improvements. So it remains to be seen which is going to be more important moving forward, and who knows, OpenGL is in the mix as well. But at least they're kind of like the G-Sync thing. At least AMD's pushing and going, okay, well, if we can have Mantle support a year earlier than waiting for the rest of the industry to catch up, then hey, we can do that. We can deliver better performance to our users.
And especially with buying more expensive, potentially somewhat proprietary monitors, I see this as much more impactful than G-Sync or FreeSync anyways. Which G-Sync or FreeSync seems to be the big versus conversation, but those games coming out with Mantle on them, I think, might actually be a big deal. If it turns out to actually be a big deal.
Lima says AMD may release something big soon. I don't know. Maybe. I was supposed to have a call with them this week, and that didn't happen, so I don't know anything. Delon says, I want them to wait and release something substantial instead of these gimmicks. I don't like Apple, but take notes from them. Interesting. Wait and release something substantial. So is what you're saying that you would like to see them wait for a new graphics card to release a new technology alongside it?
I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Because, I mean, I like seeing stuff like, DirectX 12 compatibility announced, like, retroactively for previous graphics cards, or, stuff like Game Stream, or some of the new stuff that they did with Shield Tablet that's now coming to Shield Portable. I mean, all that kind of stuff. I love to see the technology just continue to roll, never mind new products.
Yeah.
FreeSync has been patient since 2008, so NVIDIA is behind in used AMD stuff. Not really how it works, Tech News. The one with the product on the shelf in the store is first.
Yeah. Like anyone who's watched Pirates of Silicon Valley, we shipped first. It doesn't matter.
So this is interesting. In a lot of countries, NVIDIA and AMD are not that price competitive, but usually it's the other way around, where NVIDIA asks for a bit more of a premium for their products. So I'm not sure where you're from, the Lion Gamer. NVIDIA definitely has an edge with New Shield Tablet, but fell a bit behind with Titan Z. Okay, fair enough. AMD will fall behind because of the GTX 880 and 880 Ti. We don't know anything about these cards yet. If these are what we think they might be, marginally better performing parts with better power consumption, they're not exactly going to turn the market on its head. A lot of gamers don't even look at power consumption or noise when they shop for a graphics card. They look at an FPS chart, and in that respect, AMD performs very well from a price to performance ratio standpoint. Raptor adds some features NVIDIA has, but AMD to AMD, but it is too bloatware-ish. Yeah, Raptor, I know, the game. Okay, they said they have a new update. It's either coming or it just came. That's supposed to be way better. They asked us to check it out, so maybe we'll have a look at it at some point.
Yeah.
I'll
have a look at it on a drive that I fully intend to just, like, what is it called? Boot and nuke?
So maybe we can have a look at AI Suite while we're at it.
Oh, God.
Patalito Jones. I just want all video cards to come with backplates installed.
Yes, please. Oh, my goodness. You, man.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
All right, well.
I agree.
I think that is almost it. We have one more thing to do before the show ends, unless you had something else you wanted to mention. Do we have any other rapid-fire topics? Oh, yeah, we have two more things. So first up, okay. There's this guy, right? There's this guy. He has this like YouTube channel or something.
We need everyone to be attentive here for a sec.
Yeah, we need everyone's full attention. Let me just bring up his email here, because this guy said a thing. I think he didn't believe in the power of the WAN show audience. So yeah, I'm pumping you guys up here. Logan from Tech Syndicate is giving away his car. So this is already crazy. And then he got even crazier. He's hand delivering both his car, his personal vehicle, and a gaming PC to the winner anywhere in the contiguous United States. I think Canada was actually also included. But then the craziest thing he said was, "Hey Linus, do you mind mentioning it on the WAN show?" And I kind of went, "Oh yeah, no problem, dog. But you know, should I kind of get everyone to Zerg rush it all at once, or should I try to like spread it out a little bit so they don't all go at once?" And he kind of went, "WAN show audience, come on, they're not gonna all hit our site at once. Sign up for this contest, and you cause any problems with our server. So we are going to stress test the Tech Syndicate server because I want all of you guys to go sign up to win a car and a gaming PC, of course, if you qualify for the contest.
So please crash their website is basically what we're asking. But
I'm saying please go to their website.
I'm saying please crash their website, but do it by registering and signing up for the wrecked.
Is it down? Yeah, I kind of knew that would happen.
Oh, good work, everyone.
Okay, guys, seriously though, the contest.
Keep going.
The contest isn't over now. So wait a couple hours, go back, make sure you sign up. This is a really cool giveaway.
Keep trying until you get through. Don't wait a couple hours.
And what's really neat about it is not only will Logan be hand delivering your system, but Josh from Fractal is going to be coming along the road trip. They're going to be making a video about the whole process of driving the car and the gaming PC out to you. I think it's a really cool giveaway. If you're not able to get to the page right now, this is what it looks like. Win Logan's car and a gaming PC.
They can through anyways because they can sign up on Facebook, right?
Yeah, they can sign up on Facebook. They can sign up other places.
A lot of the entries through
Facebook. So here, let me just see.
Here we go. To the
18 ways to enter. So complete the above entries to unlock 12 more ways to enter. So guys, definitely check it out. I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
And of course, we've worked with Logan not that long ago, and we had that whole successful Highlander thing. So we definitely want to make sure that we're throwing some love his way here.
And you can win a car.
And you can win a car.
This is the coolest package for someone who's like just at their license level.
Yeah, or like a student.
That's what I mean, though,
Yeah.
because a lot of students are like working summer jobs so they can get PCs and don't have a car. So if you get a car and a PC all in one drop, it's just like, oh,
Well,
now
it's just
I can actually have like spending money.
Well, I don't know if it's the most sensible prize package, because as soon as you get that new gaming PC, you're not going to want to go anywhere. Ah!
That's a good point, actually. That is a pretty good point.
And they stayed in their dorm
Forever.
forever.
When I had my mineral gaming PC and I was at university, living in dorms, I didn't even need a car. I didn't have it on the road. I could have afforded to insure it at that point in time, but I was just like, nah, I don't go. I just buy groceries. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
All right, our next crazy announcement here, guys, is the winner of the ROG G550JK gaming notebook from Highlander did not respond. So, we are redrawing it. New winner time.
See, we even called this because they only had one post.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's highly possible that they just won't come back.
here we go. So let's we'll redraw it in real time here, guys. So here's the post, 611 pages. So first we're gonna do a random.org, and I'm gonna try not to do it wrong this time. Here we go.
You did it wrong?
Yeah, because I had us hiding it in the corner.
Oh!
I was like, I'm gonna do this live so they can validate the results.
I'm looking here, so I didn't even notice.
I know.
Oh.
Nick pointed it out to me, and I was like, oh, oops. So first we're going to pick a page. Page 8.
Wow.
One of the very early entrants is going to win.
You can just change your...
Yeah, but then I have to type page.
Yeah.
I can never remember if it's like a dash or a slash.
Yeah.
All right. So here are the potential winners. Satigs333, Josh Noodle, Eli Wood, Dedicator, Linux User, Speezy, Jesuot, Shadowfruit, Javanut, Deathwing72, The Gunslinger, with an underscore, Monopolo11, Master Wars, Olive with a 3, and Hippo2626, Mike underscore the underscore boss, Froggy12, Cole, Yah, Hachkor, and P Super. One of these folks will be the winner. So let's go ahead and do another random.org, this time from 1 to 20.
And actually on the screen.
Dun, 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 dun,
7. I don't remember who that was.
All right, let's count down from 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jasiwa! Another one post wonder.
So it's technically possible.
So it's technically
Well, it's
possible.
always technically possible.
But we'll be drawing this again in a week. I'm just gonna go ahead and why is that? Oh, right, because I'm not
Yeah, man.
signed in.
Just copy his name somewhere.
Yeah,
we
I'll
also
get-
have footage of it. So
I'll
we
get
can
Nick
find
to
it.
I'll get Nick to deal with it.
Yeah.
There we go. Winner. Boom. So you'll be contacted via the forum, and if you don't draw, then it'll be bad for you and not for everyone else. We've got someone, Leia is awesome in the chat saying, I won? OMG. So hopefully that's
The
you.
totally not similar at all username.
Yeah.
Throws me to assume that it might not be that person.
Yeah. Probably not the same person. All right. Well, unless we have anything else, I think that's it for the WAN show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
We can go through build logs of the month, kind of.
Can we?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, all right, hit it.
I've decided that
Here you go,
as
screen
I
share.
am obviously very terrible at doing it. Whoa.
Stop. You're not on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, you want to do that thing.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, give us a sec, guys.
Don't worry, dog. It's all good.
Why is my phone ringing? Go away, whoever you are.
Your phone is ringing because
Do
it's
you want
your
to
pimp.
answer it?
Yeah, I want to answer it.
Here, go for it.
Do you realize he's at work?
It's my mom!
You can't figure out how to win the car. Oh. I guess you would
can
be
put it
eligible.
on speakerphone.
Okay, yeah, here, hold on. I'll put you on speaker.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hello.
Wait, there's an echo. Hold on. Why is there an echo?
Because I got a delay on this end.
Oh, okay. You muted us on that end now? Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, caller, you're live on the WAN show. What would you like to say?
I went to the Tech Syndicate site to try to have it die. I was trying to help make it die. But I'm on there, but I don't see, where's the contest thing?
Okay, it's the link down below. So I think you have to log in. You want to like them on Facebook, like Fractal Design on Facebook. You have to do a bunch of Facebook stuff. You want to check out the YouTube link to the to the car giveaway. So the actual YouTube link that has the video embedded in it at the top of the page. You want to check that out. And I haven't actually entered. I don't think I would be eligible.
I don't think I would either.
So I hadn't actually tried. I just assumed it was pretty self-explanatory. But apparently it's a little difficult.
But I don't want to like them. They're the other guys.
No, they're good guys. There's nothing wrong with liking them. Besides, you can unlike them after the contest.
Okay, that's a good idea. Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
Man.
Thank you. We'll
Okay.
talk to you later.
Bye, Mom.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right. Are you ready to do builds of the week?
Sure.
I think their site's back up. I think they're all good now.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So they actually handled it surprisingly well.
Recovery time. Very
Yep,
good.
Very good recovery time. So I gotta give Logan props. Their site actually, I'll call that held up. Like, I think if a site goes down or slows down for like a minute when it's getting hit really
It's
hard,
not really that big of a deal.
that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So I gotta give them props there.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, I don't think it's up.
Oh,
Never mind.
maybe that's why she can't get to it.
Okay, fewer props.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay.
I guess we need to. Am I still? Why does it do this sometimes?
What you doing, bro?
Sometimes Chrome
Sup, bro?
will just decide that you are logged in.
Oh, I
And
know.
you can be like, sign out, and then you load like a different
I
page,
know.
and it's like, nope,
I know.
you're signed in.
And you don't even have like other Chrome browsers open elsewhere. It's
No.
just random.
All right.
Okay, you ready to
now
screen share?
We can screen share.
Yeah.
There's the screen. So, as you guys can see, we're looking at the results of the voting thread posted by someone that wasn't me, so it actually got posted. And now there's a small group of mods that will
Good
now
guy,
be
Whaler.
managing this so that it actually happens. Snef won because the least surprising things ever happened this time. Because Snef, I think this might be like his fourth time ending up in build lots. Like, geez. And like the winning percentage is pretty impressive.
Yeah, with a full 37.5% of the votes.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing
Yeah,
though,
it's
as you would
beast mode.
expect. I'll scroll down there to check it out. So Snef came in first, and then second place was Enthalpy with Noctua. So I'm assuming there is a massive amount of Noctua fans on his. So this is Snef's build. We're just gonna look at a single picture, which just like, oh my goodness. Every single time I see his builds, I wish I could personally bring myself to take the time to plan out all these fittings.
Yeah,
But just like,
it's kind of amazing.
there's no way I could do that.
What a beautiful machine.
Kind of awesome. Really like the two reses. That looks really cool.
Yep. And since you're the one actually screen sharing for a change, they can actually see the mouse.
Yeah, when I do this.
Yep.
Woo! Oh man, he
What
just
a-
consistently has really nice builds.
What a gorgeous machine.
I don't even really know what else to say. A lot of times I have like feedback, and it's just like, no, you're.
Spectre Pro fans are pretty badass. They actually perform reasonably well. A lot of people don't know that. They actually have good static pressure, and just generally they're quite quiet. They undervolt reasonably well. They're quite excellent fans,
And they look really nice.
They look really, really nice. I'm not sure if the build quality of them is quite up to what I would say is like
I think
the
it's
best.
because there's two different.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a two-piece fan, and so they kind of have a lot of flex to them. Like, even when you're screwing them in, you can see the whole frame flex.
Yeah.
But that's really my only complaint about them.
Yeah. I have
Alright.
some of them in terms of like 140mm fans in my.
What do we got next?
Noctua.
Noctua by
Try and
Enthalpy.
Find it.
That would have won if I was picking them, just because it's called Noctua.
Project Blank has a lot of Noctua fans. Where is it?
Uh-huh.
That's something we should maybe. Is it actually Project Blank?
I don't think so. Oh, I must be this.
It's because they're single screenshots. I'm tripping myself out. We're good. I got it. So this is the single screenshot that was submitted for this build, I do believe, unless this is also his. Yes, it is. This is why this is confusing. There's only supposed to be one. What are you doing, Whaler? Anyways, 23 Noctuas in a custom loop. All 23 Noctuas are on external radiators.
Wow.
Is that just like, is that your personal, is that in your multi-million-dollar house?
No, my multi-million dollar house would have it would have a fluid to fluid heat exchanger, and then it would have one loop that goes underground so that it's actually just cooled by the earth, and then it would have another loop that exchanges heat with that one. So that's how it would get all the system heat out of my house.
Perfect.
That's how that would work. Yeah.
Nice. Obviously. Okay, I should have known.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Oops.
Duh.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that's badass.
I like that he's actually like showing off his rig very in the open. I also really can appreciate those quick disconnects because those are like my favorite thing ever now.
People are like shirt off for Riot. I'm sweating so much that if I took my shirt off, I would just be so shiny. The camera
It would
wouldn't
look
even
like
be able to
he
see
was
me.
oiled.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling the
maybe
exact
I
same
am.
way. Maybe he is. Yeah. Oh man, this looks cool. I wonder if I want to know if he would do it differently.
Who?
With the industrial fans.
Hmm.
Because I think with going with this theme, I think he's fully embracing
The Noctua-ness of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Considering he even called it that.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think he would do it differently. But I would like to hear from him. Maybe if he PMs me or something. Anyways, I think that's it for us.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.
Dang it. There we go.